Gotta feel that, man. Yeah, this is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he, just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. Check it out. All this Star Wars business as of late has me in a contemplative mood. You know, it's really interesting that studio heads and directors and producers and Kathleen Kennedy and all that bullshit, it's really interesting that they call themselves championing diversity and inclusiveness. When you look at the fan base, it's like, you know what I've been tripping off? I've been watching so many videos of people who have been vocal in their criticism of the way that Disney is taking Star Wars. And I've been watching this for months, and you know, that's pretty much what has inspired me. So many of you are going in so hard, man. I'm just like, yo, it really emboldens me to say how I feel about it, because God knows, when I walked out of that movie theater after seeing The Last Jedi, I had so much pent up inside of me, you know. And it's funny because one of the people in the comment section remarked to me, "You seem to have a lot of pent up anger." And you know, I'm just like, well, considering the subject matter, yeah. It's like, you don't play around with shit like this, man. And one of the things that I noticed, you know, aside from all that, is the different walks of life that so many of us come from, you know, who have been producing these videos and voicing our concerns. You know, so many of us have nothing in common, but we're brought together by our love of Star Wars. You know, which suggests to me that the series has always been inclusive. The series has always been about diversity and bringing people together in their love for this particular saga. You know, so it's so unnecessary how all this is played out. You know, as a matter of fact, I remember my first video on this. I gave Rian Johnson credit for putting together a good-looking movie. You know, as a matter of fact, I said that he could have the chops to produce and direct a good sci-fi movie. But as far as serving the Star Wars lore, absolutely fucking not. He failed and failed miserably. But what ended up happening is, instead of taking that criticism, instead of being open to the voice of the fandom, Disney attacked the fans. I never saw anything like this before in my life. And I think that is what's caused the avalanche of criticism. You know, that's what's caused the backlash as you see it today. The fact that Disney would actually be so tone deaf, you know, and so insulting, you know, to the fandom that's been riding with this thing for over 30, almost 40 years. You know, it's like any other medium that you see like this would be unheard of. Let's say your favorite singer, you know, dropped an album and it didn't go over well, you know, with his fans. Would this singer take to insulting the fans, yelling at the fans, you know, calling the fans racist, sexist, you know, all types of shit? It's like, come on, man. Your movie fell short, you know, but what's scary about it is that your critics, you know, like your higher profile critics, they're praising this movie in a way that is borderline fucking scary, man. I mean, it really is. It's like, how are you guys incapable of telling the truth? Like, the plot holes in this movie and the lack of character development is something that my son could see, and he's 9 years old. You know, but you guys want to keep talking about the brilliance of this movie and the genius, and fucking I don't see it. You know, but anyway, you know, like I said before, the fans are having their say. And I just love the fact that we come from all different backgrounds, all different ages, you know, but we're all together on this, man. You know, you have channels such as mine who have practically no subscribers at all, you know, and you have people who have subscribed to the channel because we all need to hear from each other. We all need support after what we've been through. We need to feel like we're not the only ones who feel the way that we feel individually. So collectively we come together, black, white, Indian, Asian, you know, Latino, like everybody, you know, and no matter what religious, you know, section you might be from. And it just goes to show you how Star Wars has already brought people together in our love for the franchise, you know. So anyway, I say all of this to say, just to point out and remind everyone that tomorrow is the Blu-ray release of that fucking mess, The Last Jedi. And I just want to remind you guys, this is the only way to send a message, because they're going to push forward you know, whether Rian Johnson does it or, you know, some other fucktard does it. It's like they're gonna push forward with their interpretation of Star Wars and what they want to do with it. And we just have to remember, we have to take our shots where we can, and we have to be unapologetic about it. You know, we have to be firm in what we're doing, and we have to send a clear, relentless, cold-blooded message. And I can't wait. I can't wait to finish him. I can't wait for a fatality on this bullshit that they've come up with. And anyway, guys, this is what I wanted to say. Don't back down. You know what I mean? Don't back down. Don't give in. Shout out to Tom Petty, by the way. This has been an old fight song of mine, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So as we go forward, you know, I don't care what the stories are that come out. I don't care how Disney tries to backtrack and explain shit. It's like, remember my man Malone, I think it was, Sean Connery, in the old Untouchables movie, when he says to Ness, "What are you prepared to do?" That's my question to the fandom. What are you prepared to do? What we're prepared to do, or what we should be prepared to do, is stop the flow of money. Because it's the only thing they respect, man. It's like, you can't be chasing them down the streets. You can't do them bodily harm. But they probably don't care about that shit anyway. You know, at least the ones up at the very top. It's like the only thing that you can do is vote with your wallet. And tomorrow is a big day. You know, because you know they're going to be watching to see what this does, you know, as far as Blu-ray sales. Because they already lost over $200 million. They came up $200 million short of what they projected to make off of The Last Jedi. Now, if we can send them another message, a nice 1-2 punch, you know, a nice 2-piece, you know what I mean? I think that would get their attention very nicely. So it's just something to keep in mind, guys. All right? And watch out for those figures. Watch out for those, you know, those articles that talk about the earnings. Very interested. Alright, guys, that was just a reminder. I'm going to get back on my grind. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. And don't back down.